Good morning, Patriots, and it's already popping off in the chat. I almost spit out I swear, before I click the button to show the camera, I almost spit out my coffee. Robert's coming in hot, going, have a beer. Is that acceptable? I love it. We have the best community. I say it every week, dude. We really do. Holy Lordy. Oh, I love it. It's good to see you guys. Shit. Already drink. What time is it, man? Shit. Good for you. Everybody's different. You know, there's no judgment here. Hell, good for you, man. Just popping one off this early in the morning. Love it. Good morning. Happy weekend, everyone. Good morning to you. Karen's here. Dizzy's here. Miriam's here. Candy Wade is here. Pat is here. Hans is here. Kreger is here. The whole crew, the regulars I love. Kunth is here. Kunth? Is it Kunth? I got to get that right. But it's good to see you again. I remember you were here last time. I remember you. Robert, Steve, Peggy, and Danielle. All righty. Well, everyone's here. More people will trickle in. Remember, this is a Friday episode. It's more loosey-goosey. It's off the cuff. It's shoot from the hips. And we got a lot of news to cover because China's back in the mix. Mexico decided to stand back up. Mexico was bent on the knee, kissing Donald Trump's finger, and they were just twitching up ever so slightly. And now they're back in the news. We got SCOTUS rulings. We got a lot of stuff to cover, folks. It's good to see you, Champagne. Ooh, there you go. There's some champagne in the morning. Good morning, Patriots. Coffee is strong. Hell yeah. Let me take another sip of mine. I told us this thing is like mud. It's like molasses. Man, I love coffee. I love coffee. It's good. I sip on coffee all day. It's just to wet the whistle, you know, just make a difference in my life and others. Oh, here is what's going on with Mexico. Trump threatens tariffs and sanctions on Mexico for stealing water from Texas farmers. Oh, really? Every day I'm feeling, what's the theme song to the Folgers? Somebody said Folgers. I mean, I have 1775 coffee, but Folgers, okay, I guess we can, Folgers 75 coffee. I don't know. What is it like? Every day I'm waking up, it's a Folgers in a cup. Something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, President Donald Trump threatened to impose tariffs and possibly sanctions against Mexico if it continues to rob South Texas farmers of Rio Grande water promised under decades-old treaty. Oh, now, so they're going to send us their illegals. They're going to send us their criminals. They're going to send us all these tariffs, and now they're going to steal from us. But don't worry, they're our allies. Oh, yeah, we should respect them because they respect us so much. You gotta love this twisted ass thinking that the crazies really try to display. In a post on Truth Social on Thursday, Trump proclaimed that Mexico owes Texas 1.3 billion acre-feet of water under the 1944 water treaty, though Mexico was violating their obligation. Well, of course they were. It doesn't surprise me. Quote, this is very unfair, and it is hurting South Texas farmers very badly. Last year, the only sugar mill in Texas closed because Mexico has been stealing the water from Texas farmers. Ted Cruz has been leading the fight to get South Texas the water it is owed. But Sleepy Joe refused to lift a finger to help the farmers. That ends now. Well, Joe couldn't lift himself out of bed. And if he did, it was to go on vacation. Let's be fair. That's why he was getting out of bed. It was to go on vacation. It's good to see you, little onion. And good. Donald Trump putting America first at the most best image of Trump. I've seen better. But it's such a strike contrast between Democrats and Republicans. Republicans are fighting for the American people. I'm not saying in every facet, but in a holistic view. Democrats won't even stand for Americans during speeches. They won't do anything for the American people. They'll take your money and send it to everybody else. They won't even send it back to you. No, they'll fucking just give it to anybody. Doesn't matter who you are, a terrorist, an illegal, an enemy. As long as you are something other than an American, boy, oh boy, you're almost guaranteed a damn check, which is crazy. Oh, Coke coming out. Is it, you gotta tell me, is it Kunth? $9.99 though. I freaking love it. I gotta be careful saying your name though. I really do. If I'm ever so tipsy, that is a name that's going to get me in trouble. but it's good to see you again. And thank you. Thank you. It's really generous of you. $9.99. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. By the way, I love the emoji. Is that a Shiba Inu? Is that a Shibu? Or is that a fox? I don't know. God, I messed up today. I messed up. The one who's not messed up is Donald Trump, man, because this guy is just, I'm still always impressed. The guy, how old's Trump again? Is he actually in his 80s? I keep thinking he's in his 70s. Guy looks freaking great. I'll be hands down. This is not me. What's the new term? Like glossing him. This is not me. Brown nosing or kissing his ass. I legitimately think that I could not keep up with Trump. I used to work crazy hours as a public accountant. I'm just going to be completely transparent. I don't think even now I could keep up with Donald Trump's administration. I don't think I would make it. Just the amount of hours this guy puts in and busts his ass. I've heard Donald Trump Jr. I mean, everybody talks about it, but I've heard like Donald Trump Jr. talking about it behind the scenes, like on some people's like podcasts, like his daughter's podcast and stuff. The guy's a freaking beast, man. The guy's a workhorse. Texas farm groups warned of disastrous season ahead of them for citrus and sugar last year as Mexican and U.S. officials tried to resolve a dispute over the 1944 water treaty that supplies U.S. farmers with critical irrigation. The two countries have tussled over the treaty before, but the drought-driven water shortages were the most severe in nearly 30 years. And I'd imagine that same drought applied to Mexico, which is why they're fighting over this rather than Mexico bending the knee and saying, okay, yeah, have the water. Under the treaty designed to allocate shared water resources, Mexico is required to send 1.75 million acre-feet of water from the Rio Grande to the U.S. over a 5-year cycle. Well, it sounds like they weren't doing it. So who gets screwed? We do. And who didn't do anything? Democrats. Who's trying to fix it now? Republicans. By the way, it just shows Republicans have been trying to fix this thing for a while because Ted Cruz, who stated is, by the way, has been dealing with this, it seems like, for quite some time. So we'll see what goes on with this. But I guess Texas's $500 million citrus industry is heavily dependent on water from Mexico, especially with drought conditions growing more severe in the region. In fact, Texas is the third largest citrus state behind California and Florida. Man, when I hear citrus, doesn't it just make you want to have a nice swig of just fresh orange juice? It does. That's why I took a sip of my coffee, because it was making me thirsty. Whenever I hear citrus, just like, oh man, it's kind of warm in here. You know what I mean? I'm starting to get the gloss again. We're starting to bring out the energy to the people. I did not know about that. I did not know about a 1944 treaty that we're supposed to be sharing water with Mexico. How about we don't share any water with Mexico? How about we just take the water? How about we just start taking stuff? You know, but hear a lot of talk. Take the Panama Canal, take Greenland, and just start taking stuff again. You know, trigger the lefties even more. Have them spaz out a little bit more than what they are. Well, China's back. Let me mute this really quick here. China is back, and it's increasing tariffs on U.S. imports to 125% from 84% amid the ongoing trade war. Now, this is something we talked about a little bit yesterday, but China announced on Friday that it would hike tariffs on American imports from 84% to 125%. Now, the question is, what's Donald going to do? What's the great going to do? Is he going to go to 200? Shit, is he going to do what Mr. Wonderful said and bump the tariff on China to 400%? China. The move represents the latest escalation of ongoing trade war between the U.S. and China, which is led by the Chinese Communist Party. Isn't it weird that even though we're imposing tariffs, that we can't even unify as a country to go against our enemy in regards to tariffs? Like, we can't even unify against that. I've gone as far to think about this during this week with all these trade war things and listening to the left come out on social media and spew a bunch of diarrhea everywhere. It makes me really wonder if we ever got in a war. I don't even know if it would be supported. I think we would be divided as a country. Like, if we got legitimately attacked by a country, I think there'd be a huge vast portion of the country, Democrats, by the way, that would probably not support going to war or doing anything. How could you harm them? I don't know. They kind of just blew up downtown Los Angeles. I understand we don't care about LA, but yeah, there's a big problem. Really? I don't know. I just think they're trying to make themselves have a better life, and we did colonize some stuff, and we had slaves at one point, right? That's how their arguments always go. It always goes to the past. Oh well, the white man and colonizers, and you you patriarchy, and you just want to go out and just continually fight. Yeah, all this stuff, all the time. There were slaves at one point in history. Yeah, there was. There's also rainfall. There's also clouds in the sky. Welcome to the obvious. But yeah, let's always talk about things that happened hundreds of years ago. The U.S. imposition of abnormally high tariffs on China seriously violates international economic and trade rules, and also violates basic economic laws and common sense. It is a completely unilateral bullying, a coercive tactic and practice, Chinese finance ministry asserted. Now, I just want to point out here, it says it violates basic economic laws. So does you manipulating your fucking currency, China. That does that as well. Oh, and how about Chinese, not Chinese labor laws, child laws? How about that? Child labor. You do that. How about your concentration camps? That seems a little bit of violating something, like maybe human rights. I don't know. And common sense. I love this. Oh, it's a bullying tactic and coercive practice. Oh, but the stuff you do over there isn't. Yeah, there's no mirrors in China, believe it or not. Yeah, they actually don't sell mirrors because they don't ever look in the one. It's almost like the Democrat Party. It's almost as if when you listen to the Chinese Communist Party, you're going to hear rumblings of what comes out of Democrats' mouths too, which makes you wonder how much of Democrats out there are in the pockets of the Chinese. Maybe Doge can find out. Maybe that is what Doge found out. Given that a current tariff level, there is no market acceptance for U.S. goods exported to China. If the U.S. continues to impose additional tariffs on Chinese goods exported to China, China will ignore it. Okay. All right. Well, thank God we got a lot of allies out there. At least hopefully we do. If not, well, fuck it. We're going to have to figure it out. We got to buckle up, old school American, baby. Here's the thing. I understand we're a very materialistic society. But I was thinking about this yesterday. Perusing the web, perusing the World Wide Web. Nobody calls it WWW anymore. You know what I mean? The World Wide Web. And I'm a cheap ass, and I've always said this. I am really cheap. You guys know that. I don't spend much money. I mean, yeah. I was like, to me, I don't really care because I don't buy really anything. And when I do, like, say it's something I need, I save up for it. Like, I'll price it out and I'll go, okay, like, how much more effort do I need to put in? Like, do I need to go ref more hockey games? Or do I need to sell something that I don't have because I don't really have much? Like, I just work for it. You know what I mean? I'll pick up like an extra thing, or I'll stream even more to make like a couple extra, like 50 cents or something. It's not a joke, by the way. We don't make a ton of money on YouTube and all this stuff. Just, I always say that we don't make a ton of money. So that's why when you guys donate, it's freaking helpful. If you think we're making like $100 an episode, you're out of your mind. Talking like $1, if that. All right, less than $1. So I just work more, but I don't buy that much. I don't buy that much stuff. So the tariffs don't really like affect me. If I was to do something like build a home, or I needed like a Chinese, like I need to buy something from China, I suppose. Yeah. But all I do is I look at stuff. I go, okay, well, if it's American made, then I'll just save up for it. And I understand it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but I'm not going to buy it tomorrow. In the same way, if I was going to be needing a car, I know I'll need a car at some point. Well, then I have an extra savings spot in my actual app to budget for a vehicle that's at some point in the future. I don't understand. At the end of the day, you just save up for it and you buy it. So if it's more expensive, it's just going to take you a little bit longer to purchase said good. So I'm okay with kicking the Chinese ass on this. I don't buy anything. But for people that are always going out buying shirts and clothing, just all the shit, I guess it's gonna wallop you, but maybe it might help you. Maybe it might help you to actually start budgeting again. I don't know. Buying all these shirts, hand to God, I have one pair of jeans. Hand to God, I wear one pair of jeans. I have my shirts right here. Half of them are for work that I got for hand-me-downs. Some of them have holes in them. You guys see me wear the same shirts all the time. I don't know. It's not me bragging that I'm a cheap ass. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be. But what I'm saying is the Chinese tariffs, I don't know. I'm just not probably going to feel it. I hope I don't. But here's also the 3 hours ago. So this is popping off this morning. But if you guys don't budget, you should really sit down and create a handwritten budget with your loved one. That is important. You should do it on paper first. Again, I'm not giving you financial advice. This is just personal finance, like a practice that I do. Sit down, and then what you could do is download Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar app. It's absolutely free. And then you could just budget and move everything over. And for example, when I go to the gas station, I take out, as it's filling up, I take out my phone and I put the stuff down to the penny. I know where every single one of my pennies goes. And I'll punch in how much the gas was right there. And it goes right into my gas budget. So it's important to do those things, folks. It's important. Max for Cyprus. Max 4. What's that? What's happening? Did I miss something? Miss Mom's here, late, but here. Good to see you, Louisa. Excuse me, Southern Louisiana lady checking in. Love it. Good to see you. Heck yeah. One of the reasons I started watching your show, you're not about the, look what I got. Well, yeah, I don't have anything. Well, hold on a second. No, we can switch that really quick. We did this yesterday on Dark MAGA. I got some stuff for you guys. Look at me. I got these. And wait, hold on to my favorite one, this cute little guy right here. Hello. It's Chris Christie. What are you doing here, Chris? You freaking tubby wubby. Chris Christie. Isn't he cute though? That's a State Puff Marshmallow Man. Yeah, that's from Ghostbusters, but he's tiny. Love him. I want to get more of them. They're hard to find. Anywho, enough of that. That's all I got to show you. I have nothing else. I got a beef jerky wrapper. I'm surviving on fucking beef jerky, dude. I was like, please donate. For just $1 a day, you can feed a patriot. Shit. All right, we gotta get back into this. That's what I love about Fridays, man. It's just more loose, you know? That's what she said. Ew. Okay, hey, we're moving on. All right, enough of that. Stop it. All righty, what do we got? Well, I want to see what people are saying about this. I want okay, so breaking China, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's talking about anything. Well, maybe we can get to a, let's just click on the, yeah, this has a lot of people commenting. Let's see. I'm always curious. More tariffs. This is actually a really good image. People are funny, man. People are really funny. This is totally true with the Spider-Mans pointing at each other. Here's Donald Trump back in the day talking about if he was to run for president, he would probably put in tariffs. I'd run as Republican. They're the dumbest group of voters in the country. Ooh, you got us. We're also the thickest skinned people in the country. So fuck off, Polly. Is that guy's name actually Polly? It is. Wow. Okay. Make America Great Again, 50, 77, 102. Again, you know, I don't buy a bunch of stuff, so it don't really affect me, but I guess for all the Democrats that want to continually pouring out their money for stuff, I suppose. Eric Birch from Birch Gold Group. Just kidding. Eric, it's good to see you, man. Hey, how you feeling, by the way? Everybody say, what's up, Eric? Good morning, Patriot fam. Thank you so much, sir, for the $5. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, but I believe you were injured. If I remember correct, I think it was the last time I saw you. You wrote in the chat, hey, I'm still recovering, but let us know. Please give us an update. We want to know how you're doing because we care. So Eric Birch is in the house, folks. It's good to see you. ER doctors hate that. Cut the EMT guy on YouTube Shorts, shaking his head. What's happening? I'm jumping in. Karen Catmom says the face on the Marshmallow Man looks like Kellyanne Conway's ex-hubby. Wow. Coming out the gate swinging, just simmer down, simmer. There we go. We got more news to cover. You guys are out of control over there. I love it. House advances Trump-backed budget bill. There's a tongue twister. Top line here is the House passed a budget blueprint on Thursday in a critical step towards a permanent renewal of Trump's 2017 tax cuts. I said this is a must. Now, if you have a tariff trade war going on, which is going to inflate goods, by the way, that can cause inflation. Inflation was down for March to, was it 2.4% or 2.8%? It was one of the, well, it depends if you remove energy and food, but it was down, which is great. Now we're within the levels that we expect inflation to be. But here's the problem is now that you have a trade war with China, I think for the month of April, however long these go for, I would imagine it's going to bump up slightly, which is going to cost us more money. So it's nice to give Americans more money back in their pocket to kind of offset and even things out. Because if these tax cuts would expire, we're going back to old school brackets. we're going back to you don't get the 2,000 dependent credit for your child anymore. To go down to, in some cases, 500 or 1,000. And I think it was going to go to 500 if I remember that correctly. So you're getting walloped on that credit right there. It's rough. It really is. Dizzy here says, Brad, want to co-write a song? You can sing. I cannot sing. Trust me, man. Dizzy, that is the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Dizzy. But I cannot sing, dude. Trust me. Yeah. You would lose people listening to you, my friend. You keep doing your thing on guitar and I will keep watching and listening. By the way, follow Dizzy on TikTok, you guys. The guy freaking riffs, man. It's really awesome to watch. Go for it. Collaborate on it. God, you guys. You could always try to rewrite our intro song if you want. Like do a guitar riff. We'll see how it works out. Down to listen to that, we'll see. But by the way, I'm really loyal to my intro song and my outro song. So I don't know if I'll take it, Dizzy. All right, just being honest, because I love my outro song. But if you want, here's the thing you could do. I love how we're doing this live on air. Just fucking negotiating. I'm Trump for a second, Dizzy. Dizzy, come in here. I have, and hold on, the show's not ending. Okay, the show is not ending. This is my outro. Okay, if you want to do like a 15-second version of that, we could do that. Let me see what you can come up with. Mock me something up. Draw me up something, Pete. Dizzy's my Pete Hegseth. Pete! Pete! Screaming in the phone. Pete, fucking get in here. I want to blow up something. If you want to write a beginning of the song, that'd be great. I've actually been looking for somebody to do that for years, by the way. I don't know why I never thought of that. Dizzy is a freaking like a huge supporter of the TheBaldBradShow. The dude fucking riffs on a guitar. And I'm like, hey, I kind of need somebody to do an intro of a guitar for me. I don't know why I never thought of that till now. I'm sorry. We're doing this live on air, folks. Bruce! Mr. Rice, thank you so much for the eight months. Jeez, Louise, and a gifted 5 memberships. Shout out to you. Thank you, Bruce. A member for 8 months. Bald Army membership, by the way. And 5 Bald Brad memberships going to Sadie. It's going to Noble Victory. Shout out to Noble Ashford. Nice. And Michelle, Jen, a lot of names that I have not seen before. You know what? That's kind of cool. It brings them out in the woodwork. I love that. Did you guys see this? Hold on a second. You guys seeing this? So when you gift somebody a membership, people that are lurkers that don't want to come into the chat, which, hey, I got no qualms with that. But I'm always wondering, like, hey, we get like 50 to 100 people on YouTube every time. And now we get to know who some of them are. This is great. Noble Victory, welcome to the BaldBradShow. Ashford, nice to see you. Michelle, Jen, thank you so much for watching. And Sadie's always here. So not the, oh, you're always here. But we know who you are. So thank you. Thanks for always joining the BaldBradShow and coming in. You just got gifted a membership by Bruce. Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate you. This is fun. God, man. And we only get to do... Why? I want to stream longer and hang out with people for longer than an hour. Summer, we will. Over summer, we're going to be going 2-3 hours. We'll go crazy. GOP. Okay, we got to get back to this, Brad. Shut up, Brad. Let the people have the news. The Senate resolution recently approved by the House outlines about $400 billion in budget cuts, whereas the original House blueprint called for a... Whoa, hold on a second. The Senate resolution recently approved by the House outlines about $400 billion in budget cuts. Okay, that's not bad, but watch this. Whereas the original House blueprint called for at least $1.5 trillion budget. Whoa, cut. Wow. Can I get that one? No. I want to go back. I like that 1.5 trillion cut. Calls for deeper spending cuts among House conservatives drove much of the opposition to the bill. Well, yeah, because we want to cut. We can't keep going down this road. Reconciliation is a complicated process, but the short version is that the House vote, lawmakers in both chambers can now haggle over the final version of the budget bill. The eventual bill to come out of those negotiations only needs 50 votes in the Senate instead of the usual 60. That is huge for us, by the way. That is almost a shoo-in. Instead of 60 to overcome a filibuster. But there's always the concern that gripes from House conservatives over Thursday's bill could threaten the final bill as well. Well, if you're in the process of wanting to cut a lot of stuff, it would kind of make sense to appease the conservative part of the House to really go into the nitty gritty. You know what I mean? I don't understand why we're not doing 1.5 trillion. Let's just really go freaking rip the Band-Aid off. Let's go crazy here. Skin, good to see you. Good morning, Brad. Good to see you, Brad. No, it's good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. I know everybody's names in here. I know everybody's names. According to the Trump administration, as many as 75 nations have offered to renegotiate trade deals with the United States in the wake of the 90-day pause. I'm really curious to see how this turns out. And I hope something turns out great for us, the American people. And also, I hope that it turns out great for our allies. As Trump said, we just want fair trade. It doesn't make sense to screw each other over. You want a balanced, fair trade for one another so each other can grow. Why is it that we are growing as an economy. Let's be fair. We're always going to grow because we're a powerhouse. But there's a time when we're going to need to produce our own goods here. And I think now is the time to kind of start headlining that and kicking it off. And here's the inflation. There you go. Year over year. So 2.4% below the projected 2.6. Now, again, I think that's going to change for April. So March was a great month. March, we had better than expected job numbers. And then we had better than expected inflation. This is great. Now, imagine if Trump had not imposed tariffs, probably you'd hear nothing but positive news. If Trump had never imposed tariffs, to run on those kind of numbers that you're exceeding expectations is, that would be everywhere. And then we could really be like winning, which is true. We still are winning. But, we're going to see what April numbers look like when we're in June. And then get ready. We're going to call it. We're going to be a whole 5 weeks ahead of the news cycle, maybe 6. Democrats are going to come out and say, well, look at the job numbers. Oh, inflation's going up. Oh, well, MAGA has your 401ks, like all this stuff again, right? It's going to come out because they love to complain. They're almost rooting for failure, which is insane because they're disgusting people. And we know that. They're the same people that burned down our buildings. They're the same people that harass people. They're the same people that called us extremists, a threat to the country, a threat to the republic and democracy and to the Constitution. We're extremists. We're terrorists in their mind. By the way, I always say this. If we covered it. Nobody's ever covered this other than what I found here on the Bald Brad Show. The DHS advisory board under the Biden administration called all of us terrorists. And somehow it was just swept under the rug. Nobody wanted to talk about it. I was like, what? So if you're new here, again, Joe Biden's DHS advisory board said that if you're a Trump supporter, ever served in the military, so veterans, and if you are a religious person in any way, those 3 things, by the way, that's a quote. Those 3 things, you're deemed a terror risk in the United States of America. So lovely. Just another word for us. FBI is raising concerns and alarm about online exploitation of minors. This is getting big, you guys. So I saw this, and this is actually the main reason why I pulled this briefing up, because a lot of us have sons and daughters out there, and I want to make you aware of this because people are deleting themselves over this. You can't say the S word anymore on YouTube, by the way. You get flagged, you get taken down, demonetized. Yeah, you can't say the S word. So I'm using the word deleted. So the FBI is warning about the sharp rise in sexual exploitation and extortion of minors online, leading to dozens of suicide. Well, there we go. Dozens of deletions of teens across the nation. One form is called sextortion. And what this is that it's when a predator, usually an adult, either coerces or coaxes a minor into sending explicitly, basically nude pics or nude videos of themselves, then extorts them over it. Predators threaten to release the material unless the minor either produces additional explicit content or gives them cash. And most times it's the cash, and it's the threat of going on Instagram or like Facebook and then like sending your pictures to your friends and family. They'll do this to people. They'll do this to adults. They'll threaten to send it to their place of work, like their HR, their coworkers, like explicitly nude pictures of them. And they'll demand like money, and they'll just keep demanding it. So this is something that's been going on for quite a while. It's scary. But at other times, they are primarily after money. The FBI posted a video last week about the sharp rise in sextortion, specifically citing a violent online network known as 764. Members in the U.S. and abroad are coercing minors and other vulnerable people to commit disturbing sex-related crimes or self-harm. People have been asked to engage in cruelty to animals, self-mutilation, or some sort. In some cases, we've had individuals ask children if they knew they had a sibling to film themselves sexually abusing their sibling. I mean, these people are sick, man. And it's not that they're just here in the United States. They are here in the United States, but there's also groups that are proactively in other countries that are doing this stuff. And again, it's not just to minors, it's also to adults. And with this type of stuff, they're asking for large sums of money. I mean, it's terrible. So I want to make sure I bring awareness to this, because you got to have conversations with your son or daughter, because this is getting bad. And by the way, with artificial intelligence, this is only going to get worse. This is going to get way worse. I mean, somebody can completely fabricate us in the next, I'd imagine I mean, you can do it now, but in the next 5 years, do full video of other people just by having their image alone. I mean, AI can fully recreate it. And it's like, oh, look, I have a picture of this person. It's not even them. And that's happened, by the way. There are girls that have deleted themselves because somebody created an AI nude image of them and sent it to everybody in the school. Now, that's not where I work, but that has happened in the United States. And I think we might have covered it before. It's horrible. It's freaking horrific. Another subtype of exploitation, sexploitation, primarily targets teen boys. Offenders will post. Well, yeah, because teen boys, well, we all know teen boys got the freaking hormones running and rushing, and they're like, I want to show my pee-pee off. I get it. Right? But it's horrible, because what's happening with them is 90% of financially motivated sextortion were males between ages 14 to 17, which makes sense in that age group. I'm surprised it's not up to 18 to 21 or 25. Look at this. The FBI found more than 13,000 reports of this activity from October 2021 to March of 2023. And by the way, these are just the people that are reporting it. These aren't the people unreporting it. Like, they're not reporting it because they're nervous. They're scared. They have to tell their parents about it, all this other stuff. There were about basically almost 13,000 victims, mostly boys. At least 20 deleted themselves and have connected to these schemes. But those numbers are likely even higher. They found that sextortion cases have tied to at least 30 deletions of teen boys since 2021. And it's only going up. I mean, look at this. I mean, the numbers are crazy. There's 190,000 reports of online enticement of children for sexual acts. That number quadrupled since 2021, when the tip line received 44,000 reports. It's exponential. They're doing this on Instagram and Snapchat. And you know what? Let me send this to you guys, just so oh, it's too long. That's what she said. Damn it. Okay. Well, it's too, damn the link. Okay. So if you go the reason why I want to bring it up is sometimes it might be a little bit awkward. Like, you sitting down, your son or daughter going, hey, like, I just want to talk about something. Heard it on this guy's podcast. There's things called sextortion. If you are doing this, I just want to sit down with you with this article really quick. So this is what it looks like. And, you really, it's not like, talking about trans stuff with your kid, where it's like, oh, you have a 50% of deleting yourself if you're trans, which is true. This is horrible. And at least if it does happen to your son or daughter, then you need to give them the assurance, like, hey, if this does happen, I want you to know I have your back. Don't do anything stupid. We're going to take care of it. You know what I mean? Because God forbid something like this happens. God forbid. It's terrible. The times we live in, man. And again, by the way, I'm going to emphasize this. They might have legitimately never even sent nudes in the first place. Somebody just might have taken their image and just AI generated it. They could do that right now and you would not know the difference. You'd be like, hey, why are you sending nudes? It's like, mom, dad, I didn't send the nude. That's not even me. That's not even my body. It looks like my body, but it's not. It's crazy. The times we're getting in, man. There was a principal at a school that got laid off. We covered this story of somebody creating explicit AI of him. I think it was AI video, if I remember correctly. And he's like, that's not me. They ended up firing the guy because they didn't believe him. Well, they're like, I fucking see you on tape. What are you talking about? Like, I'm watching you. What do you mean? Why are you telling me it's not you? Turns out a staff member at the school created it. Yeah, that's where we're headed. That's where we're going. And by the way, my image online. So I would imagine something crazy shit is going to happen with AI, with images of people that do podcasts and put their image out there and all those other things and creating things that they said or did. I mean, all you need to do is just take my podcast and then you have my voice and you can completely alter it and then say something I never said before. And it would be untraceable, by the way. You would not know the difference. You're like, wow, Brad really said that? It doesn't sound like him. Like, it sounds like him, but it doesn't sound like something he would say. Or maybe it would. I don't know. It's scary, man. It's a scary freaking thought. It really is. We got updates for the rules from the Supreme Court, but before we do that, we haven't hit the like button in a while. Let's smash that. I haven't even smashed it myself. I'm telling other people to do it. I haven't even done it. What a hypocrite. What a hypocrite. Puh. Hit that like button if you can. Greatly appreciate if you could. And I just want to say thank you again to everybody that supports the show, that are members, that watch each and every day. You guys are awesome. And I know words don't justify my thankfulness. It's very hard to communicate. I'm not good at communicating, which is odd because I do a podcast, but communicating my heart to all of you, I just want to say thank you so much. You guys work for that money and you decide, hey, you know what? I want to give it to this bald guy that I've never met before, but I watched the show. So thank you. It doesn't go unnoticed, man. It really does mean a lot because this stuff is expensive to believe. It's my hobby. I'm not complaining. It's expensive, but I want to thank you for you guys doing that. That's very kind of you. If you want to become a member, you can do so at YouTube, Rumble, or, hey, we'll plug it again. Why not? Why not? It doesn't hurt. I have the website. I mean, hell, just to pay for the website is like bonkers. We have a donation tab at BaldBrad.com. So if you go to BaldBrad, donate. Hold on. Wants to work. Come on. There we go. I'll link it. You do not have to. Please, emphasizing this again. You do not have to. You're not a bad person if you don't donate. Okay? It's okay. But you can make a difference. And that's yeah, you can do custom amounts, all that stuff. So if you want to do $1, some people do that, by the way. Some people just do $1. Like, hey, here's I'll throw $1 at you. Dance for me, monkey. Here's $1. Just spit everywhere. Here we go. SCOTUS on Thursday ruled that the Trump administration must facilitate, but not necessarily effectuate, the return of Salvadorian national mistakenly deported in March, stopping short of the full remedy sought by the court's liberal justices. The unanimous, unsigned opinion did not set a deadline for the return of the Salvadorian national, Mr. Garcia, who we've covered here in the past, following his mistaken March 15th deportation to El Salvador, rather instructing the Trump administration to take steps to initiate his return. The order properly requires the governments to facilitate Mr. Garcia's release from custody in El Salvador and to ensure that his case is handled as it would have been had not been improperly sent to El Salvador itself. The intended scope of the term effectuate is the district court's order is, however, unclear and may exceed this district court's authority. Let's just throw in words that nobody knows the meaning of, and let's just handle it that way. No, that's really great rulings. No, that's great. The district court should clarify the directive and its directives. Yes, it should. With due regard for the difference owed to the executive branch in the conduct of foreign affairs. For its part, the government should be prepared to share what it can concerning the steps it has taken and the prospect of further steps. Now, we talked about the three courts, liberal justices, and all that other stuff, but that's what's going on there. So as far as him coming back, I'm not sure because he was illegally residing in the United States. So it's odd to me that the Democrats and the courts are trying to rule to have this guy come back in the United States illegally. His proceedings, the immigration judge denied him bond because the evidence showed that he is a verified member of MS-13. Hold on a second. I was told he wasn't a gang member. I was told he wasn't a criminal. Oh, he's just part of a gang. He's done nothing wrong. He just wants to hang out with the boys and get his face tattooed with a 1 and a 3 on it and say, orale. Like, come on, man. Come on. Therefore, posed a danger to the community. But why? Hold on. No. I want to show you the receipts. But why? According to Democrats, what danger? What danger could he possibly pose as a violent MS-13 gang member? He's done nothing wrong. He just wants to, again, hang out with the boys. Wear cool shades, you know what I mean? Have the just one button going down with the white shirt and the little crip walk, like, come on, man, come on. Wild and bonkers. Will it change? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Let's get to a little bit of some video clips here. Enough of me talking. We have this clip here. Hold on a second. I'm going to sneeze. At least I thought I was. I just ruined it. I apologize. we have CNN here basically talking about regret voting to protect our communities from illegal immigrant criminals. Like, it's an odd clip, but I'm gonna play it. It's with Jake Tapper and one of our favorites. So we love Caitlyn, don't we? We love Caitlyn.
I'm glad that you want to weigh in, because the question was about due process, and since it's for people who are accused and charged.
By the way, it's as loud as it goes, so I'm just gonna shut up throughout this whole clip.
That law. So I'm glad that you want to weigh in, because the question was about due process, and since it's for people who are accused and charged with crimes but not necessarily convicted of them, what do you make of the concerns about due process?
So I understand your concerns, and I understand how immigrants across this country who are here legally and have followed the law are being terrorized right now because they are unsure of what happens next. I voted for that piece of legislation because of a very specific provision, and it was if it caused injury or death to a police officer, which was one small piece of it. There were other things about, to your point, Caitlyn, someone who was was charged but hadn't been convicted. As I've thought about it over the last couple months, I probably would have voted differently. It's a vote that I regret, but coming into this Congress, I trusted that this administration, we would have some, if they wanted to have border security, they wanted to work with Democrats, that we could actually move forward. I'm not really sure of that, because I've seen the rhetoric that has come out and the attacks that have been targeted towards immigrants. So I am very cautious and careful when I'm negotiating my votes.
So she starts off by talking about illegal and legal, right? And I was like, wow, she's doing a really good job of separating the two for a Democrat. But you notice all of a sudden at the tail end of her conversation and her spewing of nonsense, now it's about, well, what he says about migrants, not about what he says about illegal immigrants, but about migrants. So now it's just all looping it in. See what they do here? And shockingly enough, there are a lot of Americans that aren't going to catch that. They're just brain rot knuckleheads that are looking to vote Democrat going, I love what she's saying.
I'm moving forward.
It's notable, Congresswoman, to hear you say you regret that vote. Congressman McKenzie, what's your response and thoughts on all of this?
I would say this.
Oh, thank God.
That we have seen from illegal immigrants coming into our country, committing these heinous crimes, are a serious challenge that are long overdue to be addressed. And so I was happy that this was the first piece of legislation that the new Congress addressed. And it was passed in a bipartisan fashion through the House and Senate and became law. And there are more things that we need to do in a bipartisan way to actually get these solutions that 80% of Americans agree with. And so in instances like this, I think this was the right thing to do. It was a positive step, but there's a lot more to be done to protect our communities.
Congressman Lawler, let me get you to weigh in here, because also tonight we just heard from the Supreme Court on the concerns about deporting people from the United States, who said the Trump administration must, quote, facilitate the return of the Maryland man who the administration acknowledged was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. Do you agree with the Supreme Court's ruling on that?
Yes. And he should be returned, and obviously they should follow the law there. But I would say when we're dealing with this crisis,
I just want to, again, the person they're talking about is an illegal immigrant. I keep saying that because everybody's upset that we deported the guy. He's an illegal. Yes. Bring him back in though. And by the way, just a little warning. He's a MS-13 gang member. A threat to the community is what they said.
Saw over 10.5 million migrants come into the United States during Joe Biden's presidency. They were released into the U.S. through a program called Catch and Release. And as a result, you saw across the country municipalities struggling under the weight of it.
Sometimes, it makes you wonder. It really does. Oh, yeah, I got a doctorate degree in political science, or I got a law degree. I don't think degrees they don't mean anything nowadays. You having a plaque with a piece of paper on the wall just doesn't mean anything. I've seen the education system. I work in the education system. I've seen what it is. It's not impressive. It's not impressive. It's a little odd how all of a sudden everybody is able to get these high-ranking law degrees and accounting degrees and philosophy, whatever the fuck the degree is, doesn't matter what it is. when generally you need a pretty high IQ to have certain degrees, by the way. So like a mathematician has obviously a high IQ. There's a really great breakout of the type of job and industry you're in and the IQ that's generally necessary to be in that specific job in the first place. Jordan B. Peterson has a great small lecture series on it for when he was at the University of Toronto that you could watch online. But all of a sudden now it's just everybody's getting an accounting degree. Everybody's getting a finance degree and a mathematician and all this. It's odd to me. How is that possible when the average IQ for a person is 100? It's like statistically that would be an anomaly because now you would have a skewed distribution because you've had a bump and all these mathematicians just came in the. So all of a sudden you have all these mathematicians and physicists everywhere. But we've had a decline in IQ. So actually our IQ has moved to the left as a bell curve. Or I shouldn't say moved to the left, but the mean has moved. A little odd. Peggy with the $10. Okay. That's all you get until next week. Make it last. Thank you. I appreciate that. God bless you. That's really funny though. Make it last. Okay, promise. Oh boy. Well, at least you know I'm not going to go spend it getting my hair done. So if that joke doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what joke will. That's funny. Oh. Well, let's see what we have else here. Oh, let's get the Chuck. Chuck, what are you saying, you freaking numbskull? Let's see. Let's see what this guy has to say. Oh, there he is. Look at geez, the penguin. I'm telling you, change the background slightly to be more dark, okay? Make the whole not as exposed, right? Lower the exposure level. And you would think this is a clip from Batman. And this is the penguin talking to Batman.
They hate, and why are they doing this and going after Social Security? They're strangling Social Security. It's almost sacred in America. They hate, and why are they doing
this? Dude's a liar. He's just a flat out liar. I'm going to play it again.
This and going after Social Security. They're strangling Social Security. It's almost sacred in America.
They're strangling Social Security, and this nut job just wants to hand it out to illegal aliens. Yeah. Okay, dude, whatever, bro. By the way, that was on MSNDNC's Morning Joe. Ugh. It's exhausting, man. It really is exhausting. Here's some other, hold on. I actually want to get your guys' take. So here, we're going to look at Peter Navarro really quick. And while it's playing, do you think Donald Trump should get rid of Peter Navarro? I'm curious. So put a yes in the chat. Do you think Donald Trump should get rid of Peter Navarro, or no, he should keep him? And anyways, we'll play this clip of him talking about manufacturing, just how kind of China has really killed our jobs.
In 90 days, biggest, broadest tax cut in American history, should be driving the tape. That's what's going to be a bullish market. And if you're not long, you're going to get left behind. Now, China. Let's talk a little bit about China. The president has said several times now that he would love to hear from China to talk about where we're at. And here's where we're at, Maria. From our perspective, China's killed over 1 million Americans with deadly fentanyl and related drugs. And it simply refuses to do anything about that. Many of these people are prime-age workers, so they not only kill Americans, they're killing our workforce. At the same time, as you know, Maria, and we talk a lot about this, since 2001, China has destroyed over 60,000 American factories and stolen over 5 million manufacturing jobs. That's the state of play. So all we're asking for is fairness.
All right. Let's see here. Let's go to the chat again. Saturday, geez, Saturday is where I'm like, it's like I'm drinking. It's like I had a beer. It's like Robert sent me a beer. It's like he's drinking, but I'm getting the effects of it. It's Saturday. It looks like Little Onion says here, I'm enrolled in my first accounting class right now, and I'm 47. Good for you. Heck yeah, we're rooting for you. Study your ass off. Know your credits and debits like the back of your hand. Like you should be able to wake up and recite your debits and credits. It's going to pay dividends at the end of the day. And then Jeff goes on to say, once you get past financial and managerial accounting, managerial is the real deal. Cost accounting becomes more cost accounting. Dude, I don't want to cuss, but screw cost accounting. Some people really get it. Most people don't. So good luck, Little Onion, on cost accounting. No, thank you. No, thank you. Once you get past managerial, as far as the financial accounting goes, advanced isn't going to get that much harder. The managerial is kind of the over the hump. That's kind of like the one that weeds people out. But that doesn't make sense to the rest of the viewers, so I'm going to move on here. We also have this on Fox and Friends. This is the U.S. trade representative coming on and talking about how they're just working around the clock to try to get these negotiations done. And man, you got to have a massive team assembled for this.
So my office, the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative, I have hundreds of people. They're split up according to regional areas, and they're working around the clock with their counterparts at the staff level. And there are pieces of paper going back and forth as countries come in and make suggestions about what they can do to have more reciprocal trade with with us. And we're looking at those, we're reviewing those, we're communicating with them and giving them ideas so we can get to a point where the president can close these deals. He can negotiate, and if there's a deal that's good, he can consider taking it, and if not, then he'll have the tariff. But that's what we're doing over the next 90 days. We've been doing it for weeks, and we're doing it today, and we'll just keep doing it. So my
I don't know if I don't know if we've seen that guy before, but all right. There was a clip that we played yesterday on Dark MAGA that I want to play again, and that's with Scott Jennings. Look, you got to throw Scott in almost every podcast. The guy just is nothing but pure joy to the American people. The guy's amazing. So we're going to show a couple clips here. And he said China is the bad guy. They're a bad actor. Correct. Here we go.
Pitching it just the opposite, which is that they're going to deal with the rest of the world and try to isolate China. So I think they see it very much differently than the way Sanders is pitching it. And I think that's the correct way to see it, because China is the bad guy here. They're a bad actor. Anybody who does business with China, in and around China, knows you can't trust them. They steal your IP. They do things, and then they resell it back here in the United States. I mean, they do terrible things to everybody that does business with them. And so if the net result of this ends up being that the United States creates fairer trade deals with the rest of the world and we end up isolating China, I think it will have been worth it. So I'm in disagreement with Senator Sanders.
I agree with Scott, and I'm not just saying that because I like him, but again, I want to divest and move away from Chinese goods. They are not our friend. They are an adversary. I don't trust them. They do shady shit. They steal our IP. They cheat. They got child labor. They still utilize freaking slavery practically in their country and utilize other countries for those minerals to build said thing at their freaking labor manufacturing plants, whatever you want to call it. It's shady, man. Not to mention the energy stuff, right? Oh, we're going to sign the Paris Climate Accord, and then you're building all these coal plants, and then we're shooting ourselves in the foot over here because of Democrats. Holly's here. My grand has and he's 3. Oh, abacus. No way. That's pretty cool. I was like, what is that? Here's another one that we have where, we played that yesterday. I can't play that. All right. That's only Scott Jennings. There's another one that I had that I thought was really funny that I forgot to play the other day, and I was trying to find it. Yeah, I don't have it. I'm sorry to tease you like that. That's not nice. Let's see what's breaking in the news right now. As you could tell, again, Fridays is more of a loosey-goosey episode. China's goal is to overtake the U.S. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and they are working hard to do it. They have a generational goal. I mean, you gotta love it for their push to overtake us. So here's Peter Doocy, by the way. So I'm not even gonna give you to what's gonna happen, but I want you to watch it.
American values.
Watch this.
And now to a Fox News alert. China escalating the ongoing trade war with the United States, raising the tariffs on U.S. goods to 125%.
Peter Doocy is live at the White House with the details. Good morning, Peter. Good morning. They did raise the tariffs overnight, but the Chinese are putting out the word now today that they are done matching the Trump U.S. tariffs. So they got them up to 125%, but the Chinese officials are telling us that they don't think it's worth matching tariff for tariff anymore with these economic sanctions that they call a joke.
How close are you to the first country coming to actually make a deal with the United States over tariffs? Is it days, months?
Well, I think it's very close, but, we have to have a deal that we like. We don't want a deal that's going to be a bad deal, or I could make every deal in one day if I wanted to.
You wouldn't extend the pause?
Yeah. We'll have to see what happens at that time.
So the Chinese rate on U.S. imports is now 125%. The new U.S. rate on Chinese imports, 145% overall. That's higher than yesterday because the existing 20% fentanyl tariffs were left off the calculation. The president is also warning Mexico today that they owe 1.3 million acres of water acres to Texas under a 1944 water treaty. He wrote, "My agriculture secretary, Brooke Rollins, is standing up for Texas farmers, and we will keep escalating consequences, including tariffs and maybe even sanctions, until Mexico honors the treaty and gives Texas the water they are owed." And there's a great item in the Wall Street Journal today about how these negotiations, these trade deals, the White House is taking on, typically take years each. But the White House wants to get them all done in the next several weeks. We will see President Trump later on this morning when he is on his way to Walter Reed for his annual physical. Back to you.
All right, Peter, will that information be public?
As much as he wants to put out, they are big sticklers with HIPAA for the president. So as much as he wants to put out, we should get in the next couple weeks.
And Peter, on this trade thing, do you think it caught the administration by surprise that China went from 84 to over 100?
No, if you talk to folks around here, they think it is the plan working. They think that is China recognizing there is a limit to how far they can go in this trade war that White House officials believe
you saw it kind of
basically the U.S. and every other country now against China.
That's right.
Peter, one more question. What about the water in Lawrence's state in Texas? They're saying that belongs to the U.S. Where is the water? What bodies of water are they talking about?
That is a great question, Ainsley. I am learning about this on Truth Social, like a lot of people this morning, and so we can get. I don't want to say the wrong water, but it's 1.3 million acres.
Well, we already have the Gulf of America.
Right.
So.
Peter, I appreciate it.
A bird just landed on my head.
What is going on? Was that a bird? What was that about?
I did not like that at all.
Peter, the back of your head, your hair's standing up now.
You got good.
I told you it was coming.
What's going on?
Bird landed on his head.
And every other country now against China.
That's right.
Peter, one more question. What about the water in Lawrence's state in Texas? They're saying that belongs to the U.S. Where is the water? What bodies of water are they talking about?
That is a great question, Ainsley. I am learning about this on Truth Social, like a lot of people this morning, and so we can get. I don't want to say the wrong water, but it's 1.3
Here comes
million
the bird.
acres.
Well, we already have the Gulf of America.
Right.
So.
Peter, I appreciate it.
A bird just landed on my head.
What is going on? Was that a bird? What was that about?
I did not like that at all.
Peter, the back of your head, your hair's standing up now.
You got good hair, though.
What is going on?
That's crazy.
So dirty.
To be scary.
It's probably so dirty.
Right.
Did he say dirty?
Yeah.
Scary.
I know.
Hey, President Trump, if you're watching upstairs, we got to do something about these birds.
Absolutely.
Where's the Park Service?
How many of you could say that a bird has landed on your head before? That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Want to know else what's crazy that we haven't talked about in a while? We kind of mentioned at the beginning of the show, and that's 1775 coffee, folks. I'm telling you, I know a lot of you like your Folgers, but I like 1775 coffee. Yeah. It's so good. Well, as you can tell, I'm out. I just finished it, but week coffee is for the week, and at Rumble, week has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity, folks. Just like 1775 coffee, baby. It's single origin, small farmed, hand-picked, specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale. It's mass-produced beans roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness, and Vitality mushroom blend. Real energy and lasting focus. No synthetic garbage. None of that chemically crap. Ugh. Well, for K-Cup pods, which you guys have been asking for, they finally have them. You can also get whole bean or fresh ground coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com. Use promo code STUDIO for 15% off. And start your morning off right with coffee. Hell, we're a morning show. It doesn't make sense that you're drinking something else. You got to drink 1775 coffee and let it stand for something, folks. And it does. Oh, and wait, by the way, every dollar that you spend on it goes to enter you to win a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash. By the way, if a Patriot wins, send some of that my way. It'll go right back into the show. But $30,000 cash, every dollar enters you to win a Cybertruck too. That's really good coffee. Again, I'm really sensitive to the taste and flavor of coffee. And so I'm very choosy on what I drink. And I hate that chemical taste. Ugh. Like, you know how they'll do like the hazelnut blend or the vanilla bean, and some of it you could tell is just it's BS. It's just you threw in a bunch of artificial chemical to make it taste like that. Ugh. I don't like that. Don't like it. So that's what I love about 1775 coffee, man. It's just good brew. It's just good. Well, I've been lucky enough to have a bird poop on my head. My friend, I always share this story. My friend Tyler in middle school, we were at the beach, and here's a little story. We went to the beach. We were obviously young guys. We would ride our bicycles. I think it was 6 or 7 miles on the riverbed, and we'd carry our body boards and our wetsuits with us, and we're just like dangling, right? And sometimes, riding with no hands on our handlebars for like 6 or 7 miles to the beach. And then we would pick up McDonald's. We'd go in the water. When we came out of the water, all the freaking McDonald's was gone because the seagulls ate it. And then, we're getting ready to go because we're like, well, our food's gone. Might as well go get some food. And I see this seagull fly in and just shits right on Tyler's head. I mean, I'm talking like one of those animated movies where it just looks like an egg just dropped on his head. And I'm just like, because I couldn't believe that I just witnessed that. And he looks at me dead straight in the face. He goes, "Did you just spit on me?" I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. And I started howling. I was crying. I was laughing so hard. He's like, "Did you just fucking spit on me?" And I lost the air. Like, it was like somebody punched me in the stomach. I'm still laughing years later. And then he wipes and he realized a bird just shit on me. So he goes and runs back in the water and wipes himself off. "Did you spit on me?" Oh my God. I couldn't even say no because it just knocked the wind out of me. I was laughing so hard. I've been pooped on though a couple times. I've been pooped on. Like it's a badge of honor. I heard it's good luck though. I don't know if that's true, but that's what we were always told. I'll give you $5,000 if I win. Hell yeah. See, Jeff's a patriot. That's a brother right there. We're going to hold you to that, by the way. And I don't even know would you tell us if you won? I guess you would take selfies of him in a Cybertruck with his girl. Just, "What's up? Oh, where'd I get this thing? I won it in a raffle." Anywho, enough of that. We got to go. Thank you, everybody that watches the show. Appreciate you. You know that. Hopefully you had fun today. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us. Clearly, there's a lot of lurkers that got memberships. Come and hang out with us in the chat, or at least have it open. And, come hang out with us. And again, thank you to everybody that donated. Greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you. You're keeping the lights on here for us. Love you. And with the Bald Brad sticker, damn right, Pat has a Bald Brad Show sticker with the eagle and the mic and the gun on his truck, actually, which is freaking badass. With that being said, okay, well, I don't want to go. I just want to hang out with you. I got to get to work. I'm getting in trouble here. I just want to keep reading the chat. Anywho, we'll be back here most likely this weekend and doing another episode. So be on the lookout for a surprise episode of the Bald Brad Show. Because I'm going to go live at some point, most likely Wednesday, Sunday. Holy Lordy. Also, Dark MAGA will be open for everybody next week. Just heads up. Again, Dark MAGA is going to be open to everybody next week. And next week's when I go on vacation. So we're only streaming until I think Thursday. So be on the lookout for that. With that being said, see you later, Patriots. Have a nice day.